NATO could break soon. Now, the new president of the United States, Donald Trump, has given some new statement which marks the question on the future of NATO. Now, we know that the Donald Trump do not like NATO because most of the budget and most of the expenses of NATO are coming from the United States pocket. And he has said multiple times that he will pull the US out from the NATO because most of the budget of the NATO are coming out from the US pocket and other countries are not spending on their defense. And the Trump is ready to pull out the United States from the NATO. NATO is nothing. So the Trump this time gave us some new statement and says that I think that they should lift their number not to 2 but to 5. He's talking about the defense budget. In the NATO treaty, it is written that every country has to give 2% of their total budget to defense. Now, most of these countries in NATO do not give 2% to the military expenses. Most of the important countries as well. And now the Donald Trump is demanding 5%, not 2%, as most of these countries are not giving even 2%. So how could we expect that they will give the 5%? And the Trump says that NATO should be at 5, not at 2%. 2% is ridiculous. Now, some of the most important countries of NATO are still not giving that much budget to their defense. Now the Trump says that it should be at 5%, but most of the countries are even less than 2%. Now Germany, which is one of the most important country of the NATO, was not at 2% few months ago, and now recently they have issued the statement that they are at 2% now and they now met the demand of the NATO, but the Trump want 5%. But those countries who are not even at 2% few months ago, how could you expect them to be at 5%? I think that most of these countries are not even ready at 2%, so I don't think that this will continue like that. 5% for them is a big number, and if they wanted to achieve it, it will take them at least 4 to 5 years, because you cannot increase your defense budget overnight. It will affect the other budget as well. So they have to increase it gradually, and we know that the Trump cannot wait. Trump likes to do things fast. So we could say that the future of the NATO is in danger, and there are the question mark on the future of the NATO. So I think that they will have a deal and NATO will not break, because without US, NATO is nothing, and without NATO, US is less powerful as well.